Hello and welcome to All Things Eastern. I'm your host, Patti Dobson. Tonight we have a very special guest, Mary Ayala, who is going to talk about all things Sidewalk Chalk Festival. Welcome.
Thank you, Patti. I'm so glad to be here because we're really, really excited about the event that's coming up.
Tell us first, before we get into all the good stuff, the dates. When is the date of the festival?
The date of the actual event is April 13th. It's Saturday, and it'll run approximately, registration will start at 10:30 in the morning, and it'll go until mid-afternoon. And the deadline has officially passed for applications, but since we still have slots, we'll take them until all the slots are filled.
Okay. And now we get to the good stuff. The business is out of the way. There are some incredible artists that have come through the various festivals through the years. How many times has this gone on? This is the...
Well, we've had what we call K through ENMU.
Yes.
This is the fourth year
Yes.
that we've had it. And 3 years, only 3 of those 4 years have we had the Sidewalk Chalk event. All 4 years we've had the K through ENMU juried art exhibit at the Runnels Gallery. So we've had children up through college competing in arts events for 4 years now in everything from sculpture to paintings and drawings, which would be in the exhibit, to these really, really vibrant sidewalk chalk pieces of art that are on our square in town for all the public to see. There's live music and entertainment, and they get to use this very special chalk. It's prang chalk, and it's just absolutely vibrant, colorful. It makes them a little bit coated with dust, not the kind of dust we had here last weekend, but pretty dust.
Yeah.
And it's something that our community can admire for a few days. People can come out, enjoy the entertainment, interact with the artists, ask them questions, so it's really nice.
Now, this time there's an extra little component for teams.
Yes, well, we've always had the opportunity for, the competition is for junior high through college. We've always allowed the junior high students to compete in a team of 2, whereas the older kids have to do it all on their own. This year, some of the college students have asked us if they don't compete, could they work as a team just to produce a really nice piece of art?
That's
so we're going to have a
exciting.
separate section just for the artists.
Now, is there any age limitation?
The only age limitation at the lower end is they have to be 7th grade or up. Younger children, K through 6th grade, are more than welcome to participate in what we call free draw. So we'll have students kind of monitoring them in a separate section, and they don't get the expensive prang chalk. They have to get the Walmart sidewalk chalk, but they have a great time doing that.
They don't care.
On the other end, you have to be either a junior high, high school, or college student. There's no age limit for college students, and as we know, we have college students who are in their 80s and 90s if they so want to. If they're a registered college student, they can participate.
It's an all-day party.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, if people want to participate, how did they get the materials to do that?
We have, first of all, we've handed out materials at all the area schools within a 100-mile radius. We have members who are talking to the schools, going to the schools, visiting with them, telling them what's going on. Facebook has a couple of places where you can go for information, Portales Arts Council or Portales Main Street, and they're another sponsor of the event. Also, if you go on ENMU's Runnels Gallery page, there's an application and information about the K through ENMU event there. So there's a lot of different places you can get the information.
Now, is the part of the event where they participate with sculpture or other types of art going to happen this year?
It did. It already happened, unfortunately. The show is up from March 1st through March 19th, and we had our prize winners. First of all, there's only 3 people selected at each grade level, and those 3 are all displayed in Runnels Gallery, and they're all eligible for the final prizes. That's a really important part. Both events have really good prizes. The first prize is $300 cash.
That is really good for this kind of competition.
Absolutely. Second prize is $200, third prize is $100, and then there's 4 honorable mentions at $50. And our sponsors have been very generous. For Sidewalk Chalk, first and second prizes have been sponsored by ENMU's president, Dr. Gamble. The third prize is Portales Women's Club. Birdsong Studios, Jane's Way Fitness, and Pintores Art League have all sponsored. Jane actually sponsored 2 honorable mentions and the other sponsored 1. And Main Street is pitching in for supplies, banners, and
Wonderful.
so it's great. Yeah.
I actually have a giraffe that an 8th grader made last year that lives in my office here on campus.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I usually buy art from the exhibit. In fact, I did this year. I have some very good stuff. Some people around here might know. One of the ways, sometimes students are reluctant to sell their art, but that's, you know, if you're an artist, you have to get used to that because life is about making things that are dear to you and then kind of giving them up.
It's hard to give those pieces up, though.
Absolutely. What I dangle in front of people is that I always put the art in a public place in my office, and they can come to campus and visit it. And I had a kindergartner one time who was just absolutely almost in tears, but once he realized that he could come visit it, he was really happy. And he followed me the rest of the day.
Oh, that is so sweet.
He said, "That's my owner." I said, "Don't say that because it sounds a little strange." But yeah, he was very excited about that. So were we.
That's funny. Now, when have you been called an owner by a 5-year-old? That's
Exactly.
just too sweet for words, really.
Exactly.
Now, how long have you been involved with
I've
the
been
festival?
involved with Portales Arts Council almost since its inception, and for the K through ENMU, I've been involved from the beginning. I was a lowly committee member or a grunt for the first few years, and this year I'm chair of this particular event.
So this is your baby.
This year, yes.
Yeah.
I've got a really good committee, though. I practically can walk away with knowing things that are being done.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Now, does the Portales Art Council have other events coming up, or
We do. We try to be a very integral part of the Fifth Friday events that take place in Portales, and we collaborate with Main Street on that. In past years, we've had what we call an artist in residence. I don't know, program, if you want to call it that. We had one year where we had 2 artists in residence, and they came here and produced art, and then it was displayed on Reynolds Gallery. They interacted with the community, so that was great. And we hope to do that again this summer with 2 writers. The last time they were artists who painted and were a couple, and interestingly enough, this summer's artists, if we can pull this off, are also going to be, they're going to be a couple, but they're going to be writers. So that's going to be fascinating. And they will interact with the community, do public events, and we're excited about that.
That is great. It makes art much more approachable.
Oh,
People are
absolutely.
afraid of art, especially if they don't know the language, or they don't know how to talk about it, or how to let their appreciation for something be known. So this makes it much more approachable.
And it also gives our community some pride that art is happening here, despite the fact that it often gets cut from school budgets and things like that. I think the best part about it is the whole community comes out. When we had the exhibit at Reynolds Gallery, I don't think you can imagine how full it was, how excited. One of the fun things is that for the past few years, you'd be surprised. I think most people expect college students to win first prize, and we often have elementary school winners of the grand prize, and the look on their face when they realize they beat out the college students is amazing, and they take that check home. And then when some of them get to sell their art, that's really, really exciting. At the square, it's really nice because people can walk by and observe it after church the next day, or as they walk by the square. And of course, we try to memorialize it with pictures because chalk goes away. We have to wash it away after a while. But it's really exciting, and we take videos of it, so we memorialize the event.
Now, there will be live music at this as well?
Yes, there's live music. We have the collaboration of the Honor Society and the music department, and they're providing some some of their groups will be entertaining. We also have local bands. I'll put a plug in for we have our local faculty band, the Blackwater Drawboys, will be there that day, and they will have a gig outside that day. We also have student organizations. We've invited student organizations to put up tables and have fundraisers at the event. So if there are any student organizations that are interested in setting up a table and reaching out to the community, we've invited the vendors and the businesses around the square to have special events, maybe offer a special coupon or a lunch special or something that day so that the whole town is involved.
It is really an almost entire day party.
Oh yeah, for sure, and people come out with their whole families. Sometimes because they want to see the entertainment. Maybe the choir is performing, and one of the kids of the family's in the choir, and they want to see that. But once they get out there, they can't help but look at the absolute talent we have with the Sidewalk Chalk, and I'm always blown away by what kids can do.
Same here. I took a class one year to photograph the event, and it was stunning to look at. Each bit was a piece of art by itself, and then when you look down and you see this sea of talent, it was just amazing, and it was beautiful. And there's something about watching kids create these masterpieces and have the smudges everywhere, and they're just so happy and proud at what they have done.
Yeah, and as I was saying, they do get covered from head to foot, not just because it's Portales and we've got the wind and the dust, but also because that chalk is high pigment. We had to make sure that we didn't schedule it for prom day because I didn't want anybody to be worried about not being able to get it out and having to go to prom. So we have to think about those things, and we plan each year. It gets better. The first year we didn't think about the fact that we needed to leave a space between the squares because the chalk can blow over into somebody else's work of art
and change it.
And change it, and that was a problem. We also didn't realize that the color that's used the most is white because they use it to blend the other colors, and so we've been thinking about that. We have tips for the participants. We want them to bring knee pads. We want them to bring a spray bottle with water in case there is wind to tamp it down.
Wow.
And rags.
These are not things that you would think to do.
Right, exactly.
Now, if someone wanted more information, is there a phone number?
They can call me.
Okay.
My office phone is 562-2421. My cell phone is 714-1665. Or they can email me at mary.ayala, AYALA, @enmu.edu.
Wonderful. It has been such a treat to have you come talk about this event.
And we hope everybody will come out, so I hope to see you there that day.
We will be there with bells on.
Okay.
And we won't be participating, but I'll tell you what, I'll put Wayne out there and he would just jump right in there just because there would be chalk and an empty space for him to create something. I admire that kind of talent.
He can do the free draw.
The free draw.
He'll join the 6-year-olds and the 7-year-olds. They might like it.
He speaks their language.
Yes.
He has a way about him, so it would be good for them and for him, I think.
Well, and we want everybody to cheer the artists on. There's nothing like somebody asking you questions about your work of art and engaging you in a conversation to make you feel like a real artist. So that's really cool.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this event. Again, this is the 13th of April.
Yes.
And it will go on all day long.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, that's all that we have time for this evening. I hope you'll come back and join us again for future episodes of All Things Eastern. And until then, we'll see you next time.